as this guy's coach, I'm going to bring him. If you can help this guy make it through this night, I'm going to bring this guy all the way to the finale because he deserves to be there.
This sucks, man. Deandre, you're an exquisite singer. I'm a little confused as to why you're in the bottom. That perplexes me, I guess now constantly, because it's happened more than once. But I want to say this. I appreciate what you've done here tonight, but I got to fight for my girl. And I got to make sure that I represent her properly in this moment because she didn't have a chance to use her voice tonight. So I'm going to use it for her as well as I possibly can to make sure she can make it.
Oh, hells no. Let me put this computer down real quick.
Deandre, when you sing a song like that, you sing with a purpose and every single word. I could feel it. You meant that. Did y'all not feel that? I think you sang your way to deserve to stay in this competition, honey. Ain't much else to be said about that. You sure got my vote.
He deserves to be in the finale. I don't know how we got to this point, Deandre, but I'm telling you right now, and I'm telling everybody at home that as this guy's coach, I'm going to bring him. If you can help this guy make it through this night, I'm going to bring this guy all the way to the finale because he deserves to be there.
This sucks, man. Deandre, you're an exquisite singer. I'm a little confused as to why you're in the bottom. That perplexes me, I guess now constantly because it's happened more than once. But I want to say this. I have a very special relationship with Reagan. The thought of breaking her heart by not urging everyone to give this girl a shot to go and redeem herself next week would be too far beneath me. So I want you to know I love you. I appreciate what you've done here tonight, but I got to fight for my girl. And I got to make sure that I represent her properly in this moment because she didn't have a chance to use her voice tonight. So I'm going to use it for her as well as I possibly can to make sure she can make it. I mean, you know, everyone loves to win. I know how competitive you are, and trust me, I thoroughly understand that because I'm extremely competitive as well. But one thing I can guarantee you is that winning The Voice, as great as it is, as wonderful and amazing as it is, doesn't necessarily mean much if you don't continue to go for this after the fact. So, voice or no, I believe in what you do. We all do, and we're all fans of yours. You have a lot of fans out there now. Take those fans, build upon those fans, and make a career for yourself regardless of what this outcome is right now.
Deandre, it is so beautiful when you sing a song and you really, really mean it. Like you meant every single word. And all I want to say to you is all you can do is the best you can do. And you just did that with that song.
You know what, guys, I have been these contestants before. I know Jennifer has as well. And I know Adam in his heart, and I know he loves his team. He feels really bad for Reagan. But I just want to say, Deandre, you just sang the hell out of that song.
Oh, hells no. Let me put this computer down real quick. Okay, so bottom line, this is what it looks like, what's going on. Because I actually saw the show, but then I had to get my little collaboration because there's a lot of little bullshit that was going on in between. Like the beating around, like the whole, I want to say this, but I'm going to put a whole bunch of foliage in the middle of it to soften the blow. Bottom line is, for some of you who's thinking this is a racist call, it's not racist, clearly. You know, I know everybody wants to find something to make it racist. Second of all, it's not that I don't think he's throwing him on the bus. This is what I see. Adam has been on this show for quite some time, and he's had a very limited amount of wins. Kelly and Jennifer are fairly new, so they have quite a few loses to go before they make it to Adam's lane of the losing thing. Blake is constantly winning the show, probably more than any judge in the history of The Voices internationally. J-Hug gets to travel between two shows. She's the only coach that I know of that are working with two brands of The Voice, the UK and the US, consistently back and forth, so she stays busy with them. So obviously they like her, otherwise they would give that job to someone else. So when you're desperate to win, you're going to try to pull the ones that you think you can get the most votes for. So if you look last season, you would see, not last season, season 13 when Jennifer was there, she made it almost to the finale, and then her whole team got wiped out, and she had nobody. I think Adam was starting to feel the pressure of that happening to him. He only had 2 artists, and they both were in the bottom. And then there was one of Blake's. Running the risk of one of Blake's artists to make it, that means Adam would be just dropped out. So he made it a point to say, Deandre, your ass have been in the bottom more than once, constantly. I don't understand it. So I'm going to focus in on this little girl right here. I'm not mad that the girl, the votes went in for the girl, because the bottom line is Deandre wasn't going to win anyway. I love him. I love his voice. He's actually one of my top favorites, you know, but realistically, he wasn't going to win. He was going to go home anyway. I don't think that Adam's votes and Adam's comment influence the people to vote for the girl. And even if it does, I don't think it's going to really affect Adam as a coach. Only because if he did influence voters, well, why would they vote for her and then be mad at him afterwards? You know what I mean? You voted for it based on what he said, if that's what you did. But here's where I find the problem is. Deandre's sitting there singing his ass off, right? And then you go in the middle of, you're supposed to be his coach, the person that he confided in. He went to you because you were a male coach, and he figured he could relate and learn something different. Otherwise, I think he would have went with Jennifer, which I also think would have been a mistake, because I love her so much, but she had too many of the same type of artists. His best bet would have been with Blake. But either way, he went with Adam. And in the very end, Adam got so desperate. I think he was in panic mode. He was in desperate mode because he didn't want to get wiped out of the show. So he figured they're not voting for Deandre. I do believe Adam is a fan of Deandre. I do believe he really likes him a lot. But at the end of the day, we don't watch the show necessarily for the contestants. The contestants gets us excited about who we want to call our favorites. But at the end of the day, we really watch it to see the judges' reaction, how the judges are interacting with each other, which judge is going to be the asshole, which judge is going to be the one that we love to hate this season. We really do watch the show for the judges, because we don't check for these artists too much after they leave the show. We really don't. So here's what I think happened. Adam got desperate, and his desperate plea to try to at least get somebody on his team so he can continue on, I think went wrong. He already knew that they weren't going to vote for Deandre, but I felt like he should have just went on ahead and supported Deandre, and they would have given him time to talk about that girl, I forgot her name. He would have had a chance to plead for her too, but he chose to plead for her during Deandre's whatever it is that they call when they're talking about the artist, you know what I mean? He chose, when he should have been pitching for Deandre and pitching for her, he just kind of cut if you look at Andre's face, you know what I mean? When Adam is saying this stuff, he's looking like, what the fuck just happened? So not only did he have to lead the show, but he has to lead the show feeling some kind of way about his coach. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good at all. You know what I mean? You left feeling some kind of way about your coach. Your coach did this to you. And I'm not going to talk directly to Adam like I've seen a lot of people doing the videos. Adam knows what he did. He knows he's wrong. Everybody's going to beat him up about it. I just felt like he handled it wrong. You know, I think all the judges have their favorites and someone they want to root for, but they can't sit there. Some of them, they do it passively. They're not as obvious with it here and there, I've noticed. But for the most part, they can't. It's like a mother or a father and their kids. They can't let the kids know which one is their favorite. They have to treat them all like they love them the same, but they have their favorites. And I think in Adam's desperate attempt, it came out kind of messed up. And I feel bad for Deandre, but I'm glad Deandre did not win. I'm hoping that Mackenzie does not win. Maybe Kennedy. And the reason why I'm saying this is because we know that most of the people on The Voice who win don't go far. you know, but at least they get recognition. The ones who runner-up, they get recognition. And if you win this show and you don't do anything after the show, yeah, you're winning, you're bragging about you won, this is on your resume. But the problem is, after a couple of years went by, now you're embarrassed that you won. And it becomes hard because nothing followed behind it. So I'm glad he didn't win. I'm hoping Mackenzie doesn't win. The fact that they're in the finals is good enough, because you can always say, well, I was a finalist here, and they can, you know, you can go further and do whatever you want to. So, the person who I think probably will win will probably be either Kennedy or Kirk. I think that's his name, Kirk J or whatever. And I think if Kirk J, just my thoughts, if Kirk J was to win, I believe he might be the only one of the Voice history that might make it somewhere, only because of the country music thing. Most of the country music people aren't like people like us. We watch these shows, but we don't follow through. The country groups, fans and stuff like that, most of them, I don't even believe they even watched the show. If they did, there would be a lot more country people all the way to the end and maybe winning. But here's what it is. All they need is one good song. All he needs is one good song and get into rotation. And the country people are going to just pull him in like they did Carrie Underwood and a few others. And he's in there. You know what I mean? So, but the rest of them, I have a lot of favorites. And I'm hoping that none of my favorites actually win, because I don't think winning would be a good thing on this particular show. So that's just my take on this. You know, you can leave your comments below if you agree or disagree. But I truly think that what Adam did was out of desperation. It looked like it was out of desperation. He just talked out the side of his neck. Clearly, during the commercial break, there had to be some conversations going on about it. And this is why Kelly Clarkson came in and said what she said. I think to soften the blow, because she knew that there was going to be a whole bunch of backlash, or maybe she fell for Adam. You know what I'm saying? But, and even Jennifer Hudson, the way she, even before Adam spoke, when Jennifer Hudson said what she said about him, said, you did all you could do. She already knew that he wasn't going to make it. She already knew it, because she's been through this before with other artists. He just wasn't going to make it. So she said, you can only do what you could do. You know what I mean? And that's it. So you just keep going forward from there. So she already knew. You know what I mean? But it didn't help when Adam said, oh, you're a great singer, especially after he told her, you know, I'll take you all the way through the end. And then just one song later, the next day, the next elimination, here he is with, you did great, but I have to root for my girl, you know, and you guys need to vote for her. He could have waited and said something about her later, and I just felt like he handled it all wrong, and he should have supported both. Because you never know. If his pitch was as good as it should be, the country guy on Blake's team would have went home and he'd have still had two of his people. But now, all he has is controversy. I'm out.